good morning, I guess. Welcome to Todd Rolls Dice. This is really fucking weird, doing a live stream on this channel. And it's like 10 to 2 in the morning, which is even weirder. Hopefully everything is coming through. I've purposefully got the music on low. The stream is live. We will be watching it through their YouTube stream, which I hope is going to work. As I say, I think everything's going. That's running in the background. We will jump to it, but first I just wanted to touch on this article. Obviously we're over on WarCom. We have the live blog preview show. I don't think they've ever done one of these before. That can go. We don't need that running in the... It's been like 5 weeks since I've done a stream. You'll have to bear with me. If there's anything off, just let me know in the comments. I'll pick it up at some point. But this is interesting, I thought. So the Adepticon 2025 reveal is one of the largest independent hobby events in the world. Every year Warhammer is there in force. This preview show will be showing off tons of upcoming products. New factions. What could that be? Old world? Codexes, exciting. Spearheads, exciting. And more to show. You can watch live or Twitch or whatever. You can watch it with me if you want as well. Yeah, this is... I am genuinely not quite sure what to expect now. New codexes, I guess we were expecting the Chaos codexes for the sort of sub chapters, the variants of Chaos that isn't Black Legion. Spearheads, it's funny that they say we're showing off new spearheads, plural, but not battle tomes. New factions. New factions is an interesting one. That's probably Old World though, right? Seeing what's coming after Wood Elves for Old World? I don't know. There might be more to this than we think. Could new factions be Kill Team? Would we be getting something fun, cool and different that is not for 40k? Which is one of my big criticisms for Kill Team releases in the past. They've always been what I call 40k fodder. It's a bit unfair, but it's basically just boxes that is for Kill Team. But we have a blank screen. Well, it's not blank. We have a starting soon screen. A nice splash screen for Adepticon 2025. We are about 7 minutes away. They say that this is live, or they said it was live when they did their teaser trailer. How I think Adepticon works is similarly to other ones that they've done live. They show everybody in the hall first, and then they do the reveal live, I think. So, I mean, who knows? People might already know what's out there. I still think we might see something heresy, a little stinger at the end. But yeah, hopefully you guys jump in, enjoy, let me know what's going on, let me know what you're looking forward to. If you see anything you like, drop it in the comments. Let me know what you're excited about. Also, tell me what doesn't quite sit with you guys. If there's something that looks a bit weird, you know, if we get another Inquisitor Cotiaz, yeah, we'll have things to say. But look, it's too early in the morning to be messing around and being nice for nice sake, right? Let's just get in, enjoy. We'll talk about the cool stuff. We'll laugh about the not so cool stuff, and see how this goes. And who knows, if this goes well, maybe I'll do another live reaction at some point in the future. But to be fair, just about every content creator that covers Warhammer, like, as a main focus, and maybe not all of them, some of them are sensible, but everybody's streaming these events, aren't they? So there's so many people that you can dip in and out of. You don't have to stick with me all night or all morning, that's fine. But let me know what you're enjoying, really, first. Honestly, I don't know what we're going to get. I still think that drill arm is going to be revealed. I still think we're going to get World Eaters Wave 2. I think it's... Are we going to get a Wave 2? I'd love a World Eaters Wave 2 with some proper Terminators. The Red Butchers. That'd be so cool. If I keep looking that way, it's because my chat has decided to disappear from OBS, which is normally right under the camera. It's now on that screen. So if my head's all over the place, I'm tired, it's early in the morning, and nothing is where I remember it being, because I don't know, OBS has probably done an update since my last stream, so... But hopefully this will be good. I mean, Adepticon's already been huge for me anyway, because we got the big Halo stuff. I know that's not Warhammer. I don't really like to cross the streams with Halo Flashpoint and Mantic, and Games Workshop and Warhammer and the big stuff. But honestly, that Banished reveal was so good. I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm flying high, and I'm looking forward to seeing some more cool hobby stuff that we can all get excited about. And Kill Team. Kill Team's the big one for me. Really surprised that we're going to get a Kill Team reveal here. They've got precedence for it, because the new Kill Team box hasn't actually released yet. It only went up for pre-order 5 days ago. But you know, maybe they're just going to throw Kill Team boxes at us, which is going to be cool. I hope it's something really good. I hope it's a bespoke NID team, to be honest. The more I think about it, the more I like that idea. But yeah, this is promising to be a good stream, and if we are getting new factions of some sort, like they said in the live blog, it could be something really cool. And new factions for Old World especially would be new resin and plastics. If it is Old World, it might be 40k. We might get a sneaky Votan or another Emperor's Children style army box. It'd be weird to do another new army before the other armies get their codexes. But we are moving into the final year of 40k 10th, which is probably a good thing. 10th has been a really hard game for me, because I like the rules set, but it's lost so much of what I loved about 40k. And list building is such a vital part of that, the fun for me. Certainly with 40k, and picking weapons, and well, this squad, I could take points and give them good weapons, but then I'm having to take half a squad somewhere else, and that trade-off between having good equipment and having more teams, that's just gone, and that sucks. I know AOS plays differently. AOS is very it's very inclusive with its options. There's not many different weapon options for a lot of different things. Kill Team, again, very similar. You pick different operatives, but they're kind of all similar outside of the specialist role. So I guess I'm complaining about a problem that I don't have a problem with in other games. But I just remember the days of 40k codexes, taking Space Marines with, some have plasma weapons, some just have bolters, some are tooled up with everything. I miss doing that, and a friend of mine's trying to get me to do Heresy just because of that, so who knows what's going to happen. Speaking of Heresy, where's Heresy? Like I said at the start, I think we're going to get a Heresy sting. I think there's going to be something at the end. Not quite the Horus standing in the Sol system, seeing Earth in the distance. We're probably not quite going to get something that cool. I wouldn't be surprised if in the last 5 minutes of this stream there's a, oh hey, there's this game called Horus Heresy, right? Maybe there's something in the future. I think we're going to get something like that. That should be... I don't know, they're nice miniatures. The Heresy stuff, for all of the crap that I give Heresy, they're nice miniatures. My problem is I'm more of a skirmish game. I like less operatives, less units on a board, and just playing quicker, faster paced games that really feel a bit more engaging. Each their own. I could be pulled into Heresy. I'm not immune to the charms of Games Workshop plastic. Resin can stay away though. No resin. That's the only thing with Heresy. But we'll see. It's going to be, hopefully it's going to be a good preview. Hopefully it's going to be worthy of me staying up till 2 in the morning and doing our first live reaction. Yeah, it's this might start to get hard work if it's a bit of a slog, I'll be honest. But we'll see. I'm sure you guys will keep me company. Give me stick. That's usually what chat does. Okay. How's the live blog going? We're still not revealing anything. No, we're still not revealing anything. Do we know if there was a reveal at Adepticon? Is anybody there? Is anybody watching this that is in Adepticon right now and they know what's coming?
Hello everyone and
oh, they're not at Adepticon. Okay.
Coming to you from Nottingham. My name's Nick.
So they are from Nottingham.
We're really excited to be with you this evening.
And it's this, I like this setup. It's the same setup. This is cool. Okay, so we're going to sort of listen to them, but we'll dip in and out. I will be doing my banter over the top of them.
Soon. Now, this weekend we are celebrating it, of course, as Adepticon over there in America, in Milwaukee. If you're there at the event,
I'd love to go at some point.
Some of the stuff we're about to show you already.
Yeah, I thought they might have done it.
Great to have you here. But of course, there's folks all around the world. Please let us know in the chat where you are. And in fact, this evening we're helped out because we are live.
I'm disappointed. Why aren't the candles lit?
Over in Question Corner. Ed, how you doing? All right.
Good, thanks, Nick. Yeah,
good to have you here, man.
If you've got any questions, do start with question right at the beginning.
This is good. It's good that they actually have somebody in there to start throwing questions and stuff.
Only, I know we're on YouTube as well, but if you're in Twitch, please put your questions in there.
That's a bit rubbish.
Answers we possibly can as the show goes on. Now we have so much.
I am watching this on YouTube, by the way, so I prefer YouTube because Twitch throws ads up and stuff. Alright, we're kicking off with 40k, as expected. No, we're not. We're kicking off with... who knows what? It's a stinger. It's a tease. Well, that's... was that AdMech? AdMech Kill Team? There was some Death Guard in there. There was...
that was very exciting.
Osiak Bone Reapers? Maybe?
You've seen the sizzle reel. It's now time.
Sizzle. It was the sizzle, not the sting. Stings at the end.
Here we go.
Oh, I like already.
Lauren is a highly elite force.
I love the archers.
Archers. You get a fantastic battalion.
The stags are cool as well. Oh, they're nice. Oh, they're nice.
Ryan in there. Loads of fantastic stuff.
Yeah, absolutely elite.
What about the Beastmen though? Surely Beastmen were coming first, were they not?
Alex is absolutely right. What he says there. We've also got the.
I love those archers so much.
Well, who's coming alongside the Wood Elves?
I think we've seen him before, have we?
Yes, he was a cowardly youth. However, having fallen from his horse and found an elf goddess, as you do, he then regained his.
It's a nice model. It's a very nice model.
A superb Lord level.
Wow.
Elf forces. This guy carries his bird into battle. Scarin the Eye Thief there can be sent across the battlefield to peck the eyes out of your enemies.
Bird steals eyes. That's nice.
The Arcane Journal, which is coming for the Wood Elves, just like it does for every other army. A 48-page book dedicated to the Wood Elves with background.
I would actually pick that up. Genuinely, I'm interested in Wood Elves more than anything else in Old World.
We got Orion, King of the Woods.
I thought Beastmen were next.
His Wild Hunt, one of the armies of infamy there.
That's
magic items, new units which you can take as
that's definitely an aesthetic choice.
I tell you what, Alex, I'm super excited about the fact that beast packs are returning to the Wood Elf realms. You'll be able to field units of deep wood hounds, forest cats, sylvan boars, and even a bear of Lauren. So you can have a bear running around.
That's cool.
That sounds great. So there we are.
Although we have history with bears, certainly on the gaming channel.
To the Old World, we've got the Beastmen Brayherds returning.
Yes.
So likewise.
Okay, we're getting both. That's a cool big centerpiece model, isn't it? The Minotaur.
Absolutely right. Yeah, the Beastmen, of course, a wild force in Warhammer the Old World. Super powerful. Lots of cheap infantry running around all over the table, and some terrifying monsters as well. And there's a brand new.
Just looking at the troops, well. We've seen this one. Yeah.
Prophet of Ruin. Tell me about this guy. Who is it?
It's a nice model. It is a very nice model.
However, if you are,
they will be resin though, won't they?
You tend to be given a bit of an easy ride. They love that. Kralmor is a prophet. He can, see the future, which has allowed him to stay one step ahead of his enemies. And we mentioned Orion before.
I'm surprised we've started with Old World, if I'm honest.
He's a powerful level 4 wizard, and that leering spirit that he accompanies into battle can be placed on the battlefield to cast devolving magic at enemies from afar, which is quite good fun.
I just think it's a cool look.
And the Beastmen are going to have the huge ranges accompanying them. We've just shown you a selection here, so don't expect just this. There's loads more coming as well. And of course,
that's cool.
The Arcane Journal for the Beastmen Brayherds. Again, big book full of lore.
Do we think that they're going to start really fleshing out Old World?
We've got
Because it's currently just older factions, isn't it?
Empire of Men Troopers, new
But there's a lot
units,
that they can do in that
heroes in
timeline, I
there,
believe.
Magic. You can take a herd stone for your force as well. Look, if you're a Beastman fan, you want to get this book. That's great. Now, elves.
Yeah.
People kind of knew that Wood Elves and Beastmen were on the way because they were the last two forces.
New
that were gonna
faction.
happen. But there's one
New
force that
factions.
people might not be expecting, right?
Oh,
Let's take a look.
Squats.
Grand Cathay is among the oldest civilizations in the world.
My old world, old fantasy knowledge of the Warhammer stuff is non-existent. So you're gonna have to tell me what Cathay is? Cathay?
Under the watch of my father, Sen Yang, the Celestial Dragon Emperor,
Dragon
Grand
Emperor.
Cathay stands as a bulwark of harmony against the forces of darkness.
Are they humans with
Now, as the
serpentine
hordes of
horses?
chaos threaten to breach our sacred battlements, this haven of order prepares.
This is a cool trailer.
Upon the walls of the Great Bastion are mustered countless soldiers, ingenious war machines, and other more
Very
esoteric
Eastern inspired.
members who stand ready, determined to
Oh, they
hold
look
out
cool.
the tide.
They look really cool.
Resolutely, I perform the duty bestowed on me by my divine father centuries ago.
They have airships
Through
as
devout
well.
Study of the twin powers of yin and yang, I master the elements and summon lightning from the heavens.
Very Eastern inspired.
Striking our foes and inspiring all those who fight beneath my banner. I am the master of the storm winds and the supreme matriarch of Nangao. I am Miao Ying. I am the storm dragon. This is Grand Cathay.
Okay, but show me the model.
Our eternal empire.
That was a... There we go. Holy shit, they look cool. Wow. How big are they?
that is amazing. I have
Wow.
genuine goosebumps.
Wow.
Okay, that was an epic start.
What a range.
Wow.
Let's talk about it. So
We'll-
Grand Cathay is here, marching into the old.
We'll have a
world.
look at the Warcom
Alex,
stuff after this. How big are those bronze
Grand
giant
Cathay is one of the
statue
oldest
things?
civilizations in the world.
Oh,
Legend
wow.
stood as sort of an eternal bulwark against the evils of the world. It's a land of
They're
cities,
cool.
farms,
I
great
never thought I'd say that
mountains,
about old world
a sort
stuff,
of,
but they're
eternal
genuinely
stability and harmony.
fascinating.
Civilizations tend to be in a level of turmoil because it's ruled by
I love them.
dragons, namely the celestial dragon emperor himself.
Dragons help. Dragons are cool.
Having an immortal leader lends
But it's the big
ability to
bronze statues.
What a great
The
sort of idea
copper
and concept
statues,
for a force.
whatever they'd be.
Very different
Wow.
army to anything else. you've ever seen in
Wow.
Warhammer, the old world. They are an elite army, heavily armed and heavily armored. Even the basic troops are super elite. There's a mixture of troops, cavalry, war engines, terrifying monsters. And we're going to go through a few of them now because the
Nice.
battalion
Let's
box,
talk about it.
which we see here, is what a great scope of miniatures we've got in front of us. And
That's
first and
the
foremost, let's
the
talk about
cavalry
the
look
infantry.
really
Alex,
cool.
Jade Warriors, who are they?
So the Jade Warriors are the well-equipped sort of core of a city's army. So they're known as the Jade Warriors because that stone is sort of sacred to the Dragon Emperor, and it's said to represent sort of the implacable
Okay.
nature of the Empire. They have pole arms, heavy armor, shields. They're formidable
This
in attack.
Sculpting, the detail, the faces in the helmets look
You're
really
right,
cool.
in the rules as well. These guys have the rule defensive stance, where if they remain stationary, they can re-roll ones in the combat phase on their saves, which is cool.
I'm gonna take it that that's
This
good.
box set as well is that while you can
Re-rolling
roll
ones is
different
always
models,
nice.
lots of different variation. One of the great varieties in the Jade Warriors that is every model you can choose a male or a female head as well. So you can have all your Jade Warriors can be female or male, up to
Okay.
which is really really cool.
Good mix.
But they're not just the only thing. They've got maybe the anvil of the army is the Jade Warriors, but let's talk about the Jade Lancers, the cavalry.
They're stunning.
These guys are special.
So yeah, if the Jade Warriors are the shield, these guys are the spear. They're the knights of the celestial host.
Wow.
They've been forged in battle and drawn from the most disciplined and skilled soldiers of the great cities.
All this
The
stuff is
wealthy
plastic,
cities
right?
raised, multiple regiments of these guys, but
The new
can manage at
Like
least
Battle Force
on the
boxes are
battlefield,
usually
they
plastic.
are able to charge and annihilate the enemy. They specialize in
Wow.
getting through the narrow passages and alleyways of the cities to counterattack.
They're absolutely devastating cavalry, Alex. On the charge, these guys can fight in an extra rank with their Cathayan Lancers, so that makes them super hitty. And also the Cathayan Cataphracts rule lets this unit follow up from combat and counters charging next turn, so they're going to go straight through units and into the next one. Are absolutely devastating.
That sounds pretty good.
But if you don't want to get too close to your opponent like the Jade Lancers do, maybe you want to fancy taking some of these artillery pieces as well. Check these out, man. What we got?
So all along the Great Bastion, you've got rocket launchers and cannons of all.
They look really nice as well. So much character in those, like cannons and things.
A little bit inaccurate, but they're incredibly deadly, launching explosives great distances. So this
It's Gandalf's fireworks.
is a portable version of the War Machine. It's crewed by disciples of the House of Smoke and Powder, who specialize in the manufacturing.
This is a hell of a start. Really good start for the preview.
So many cannon also exist, but the foremost is the Cathayan.
I love that he's just there with a firework, smoking a pipe. He's not that bothered about fire safety.
Dragon head shaped on the front, and one of my favorite things about this kit is that ogre loader.
It's just a great characterful piece, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
upgrade
cool.
For the kit, for the artillery piece in terms of the rules. He helps protect your artillery piece with gunpowder bombs. He can help the cannon move faster by lugging it along, and also it can allow it to shoot once per game in one phase, which is pretty impressive.
Okay.
Super fast. The Grand Cannon you see here does such devastating damage. It has thunderous impact on its shots, slowing down enemy units nearby where the shot landed.
That sounds strong.
Firing rocket battery can choose a multiple different types of ammunition, depending on whether it's going for big targets or for big
It's
units. It can do whatever
just
it
the
wants.
design of the
Those are a lot
sculpts.
of
They just look
fantastic.
so
That guy at the
flavorful.
back with the sort of the bamboo rocket who's smoking a pipe right next to
Yeah.
the rocket.
Yeah.
What a hero! What a hero! Love this stuff. But that's the model.
He's seen things. He's ready.
We've also got some.
Very
other models.
nice.
This is the Sky Lantern. Tell me about these.
Yes, so this is a beautiful centerpiece miniature. It's an intricately decorated construction of.
Is that a clear plastic stand? It's on a clear plastic stand. I thought flight stands had disappeared.
Turning wings and forces all that hot air
Wow.
into it to give it lift. The crew then sit in an
They're
armored
nice.
gondola, and they're able to direct it using those sails on the side. It's a wonder of Cathayan ingenuity. If you had the Derby up on one side and Grand Cathay on the other,
This doesn't feel like Old World for me. They obviously are. This feels like a really cool D&D setting.
Cities and the institutions of Grand Cathay. And they tend to lead from the back.
Wow.
And they can guide from the Sky Lantern using fans and banners.
This is great. The magistrate you see there is a hero choice for the force, and you can choose to mount him in a Sky Lantern if you want to. He can be on foot if you want to as well, or you can take your Sky Lantern without one of those inside if you want to as well.
Okay.
It's a huge, rare, heavy chariot basically on a new base size, which is quite cool. And you can equip the gunners on board with an array of gunpowder weapons and bombs, including the actual lantern itself has those huge Sky Lantern bombs underneath it, which are absolutely devastating. One of my favourite rules about this
Oh, they're
thing is
bombs.
the,
Okay.
the Dragon rule, which lets Cathayan artillery use this model's line of sight, so the crew on board are directing the artillery fire for the rest of the force.
That's cool.
Which is fantastic. So
Just one thing I want to note on this.
They sound pretty strong.
Transfers.
Yes.
You'll have seen an
Yeah, they look
awful
so good.
intricate symbols, and as well there on the Sky Lantern, those are all transfers.
absolutely.
I thought they might be.
A level 4 brush sorcerer.
They're a bit too
to
uniform
complete that, so
to
those are
not be,
fantastic
but they're
moves
stunning.
for Cathayan players. And that's not the only centerpiece model we've got. Of course, up next we've got the
I
Cathayan
love those.
Sentinels.
That is incredible.
Just look at the size.
The
of this
paint
thing.
job,
It's incredible.
everything about
Quite
it, just
animated
so
effects.
nice.
If legend is to be believed, they were all built by the Dragon Emperor himself many thousands of years
Wow.
ago to combat chaos. Now, the terracotta sentinels are crafted from magic.
Terracotta sentinels. Okay, they look stunning.
In itself. However, sentinels can be found across Grand Cathay, anywhere. They're made of various stones, so like granite sentinels watch over Sky Pass in the Mountains of Morn, obsidian sentinels defend the border against the blood nagas of Koresh, and
Okay.
warpstone sentinels formed from clay infused with warpstone dust sort of watch over the desert roads in the warpstone desert.
I tell you what's really cool as well, depending on which one you go for and how you paint your miniature, they actually get different.
Oh,
rules in the
excuse
game
me.
As well, so the terracotta sentinel.
It is 2:15. You'll have to forgive me if I start yawning.
Armor save, and the warpstone sentinel is going to sort of
They-
really badly
Incredible. I love
by
these.
enemy troops.
They've got to be resin.
It's really horrible.
They have to be
These things are
resin.
Huge, rare behemoths, and they are just great fun.
They look incredible. There's so much detail going on there. Wow.
Gengan Lord on the Great Spirit Longmar.
So yeah, these guys tend to be the descendants of the Celestial Dragon, or dragon-blooded. They're natural sorcerers. There's just as
That dragon mount is so cool.
With a blade. They're gifted with weapons and armor.
Beautiful colour scheme helps as well. That very classic green and orange.
Absolutely not, and they're basically
Wow.
warrior wizards. So these models can either be.
She looks like the sister from Avatar, though.
A level 1 wizard or a level 2 wizard, and those can.
And she's a wizard.
You could have a level 4 Gengan Lord if you wanted to, all flying around this beautifully sculpted Longmar flying beast. Just a wonderful sort of.
It isn't a dragon, though, is it? It's like a dragon-ish thing, but it's.
Model 2.
Wow, just
other
wow.
choices for your heroes include the Gate Masters of the Celestial Cities.
So these are the leaders of the Jade Warriors. They've earned their position through skill and experience, and they must have served for at least a decade.
Wow.
And they're the
Just-
masters of defensive warfare
wow.
Absolutely
discipline.
right. They're battle-hardened veteran leaders for your forces. Again, they could be heroes or gate.
So they
or
talked about
lords.
the transfers. Do we think that that is a transfer as well?
Including all the bits to make a battle standard.
That's a hell of a size of a transfer, if it is. I mean, it is a transfer.
That yourself.
Wow.
These guys are wonderful leaders to have in your force.
That'd be a nightmare to put on.
Models in play. Now, of course, alongside
Getting all the folds and stuff in the right place. I'm just not very good at transfers.
Indeed, so this has got the history of Grand Cathay, the Celestial Dragon Emperor.
I'm interested in the history. I might pick that up. I'm still not getting into Old World. Don't get too excited. But this stuff is cool.
And a long and storied friendship with Nehekara, until events that we will not mention.
I don't know what any of that is, but this is cool.
The formation of the Great Warpstone Desert, the trade, exploration. There's a bit of a focus on the armies of Nan Gao here, and that's the anchor at the western end of the Great Bastion.
I'm just looking at these thinking I could make some amazing Chaos Warriors for AOS.
Yin and Yang. Yang mages
Which is
study
probably
strength,
heresy to Old World players.
strength and vibrant spells, whilst Yin is darker and more dangerous.
Both new magic laws which you can take for your wizards inside the Arcane Journal as well. This Arcane Journal is a bit unusual. It's not maybe like the other Arcane Journals we've seen, as it's more of a sort of standard army list. So much like you'd see in the Forces of Fantasy or the Ravening Hordes books, that every single model that's coming alongside will have their full rules in here, full special rules for the army, unique weapons, magic items, everything you need to field your Grand Cathay army in a game of Warhammer the Old World is in this book. So if you're going to collect an army,
This army is singing to me. Those models are gorgeous, just gorgeous.
I've got one more thing to show you from this army. Take a look at this. Oh,
That's cool.
Alex, who is this?
That's
This is
so
Yin,
cool.
Commander of the armies of the Great Bastion, ruler of
Beautiful paint job as well. It looks like the metallics on it.
She's fought
The
against
skin.
the Dark Gods,
Wow.
Hobgoblins, barbarians, you name it. She was assigned to her position by the Celestial Dragon himself, and is often considered the favourite amongst her siblings due to the power she wields and duties she bears. And she's somewhat
Just
aware of it.
incredible. Let's
She's
get rid of the
forever
mouse.
dealing with
Don't need the
lords of
cursor
Nangao,
on.
because even when you are a dragon, politics and scheming never escape.
Now, I'm right in thinking Mao Ying's
Gorgeous.
as a dragon, and sometimes she can transform herself into the human form to I guess less terrify her troops as well. What's important as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Miniature, isn't it? I think it's important to say as well that model we've just seen, the dragon, Mao Ying here, and all the models we've seen in this entire range are all plastic,
Indeed.
which is fantastic news. So it's going to be much.
I didn't
easier to,
expect
make your miniatures.
an entire Old World
army
army that's
transform herself from a
plastic.
dragon to a human whenever she wants to.
Okay, maybe I am doing Old World.
And she's a supreme
These
matriarch
guys
of
are
Nangao,
incredible.
So she can promote warriors around her to be her celestial dragon guard, making them
Wow.
as well. Just a stunning centerpiece model for your army. That whole collection is just incredible.
The intricacy, the detail.
What a hell of a... Look at it. Look at this.
That is Grand Cathay
The shimmer
Fantasy.
between the black into the silver and...
A very exciting release.
Oh.
And
Oh.
you guys weren't sure if we're going to show you everything. We just have. So there we go. Exciting stuff. We've got a bit of time now to go over to Question Corner. Ed,
Wow,
what's
what a
the
start.
talking about at the moment?
Well, first off, I would like to shout out a few of the locations people talked about earlier. We've got people from all over the UK, loads of states being listed across the US and Canada. Paris,
I know that this is a live show and they're bringing in everyone, and I do this with you guys in chat. If the comments are ticking over, we're having a chat and we're...
And how much of the
But I'm here for the reveals for this. I just want to see cool new stuff.
We've just seen.
And they've started off really well. Wood
There we go.
Elves,
That's
incredible.
it. If there's
Cafe,
other events coming in the future,
amazing.
We haven't seen, we don't know about at the moment. We don't know, but
So
everything we've
they-
just seen is entirely plastic. Multi-part miniatures, loads of different options you can put on your.
Is he talking about Old World in general? Is that everything for Old World?
Pretty cool.
Next up,
I don't
are
know.
those
Great start, either way.
biggest models in Old World?
That dragon's got to be close.
The Sky Lantern is huge.
Yeah, the Sky Lantern stands really tall.
Because
That
it's
ties
on
in-
a brand new base as well, and then on a flying stand, and
Yeah.
then that balloon on top of it. So at least height-wise, I think the Sky Lantern takes it.
Well, you've in fact just answered my next question, which was, is the Sky Lantern attached to its base purely from the plastic parts? No, it's got the flying stand. Okay, final question then.
Good old
who's
flying
Cathay's
stands.
biggest rivals in the old world?
Ooh, they don't have a rival.
You know,
Arguably, they're amongst the oldest and most powerful kingdoms in the old world.
but they particularly hate the forces of chaos.
Oh,
right?
they absolutely loathe chaos.
Okay. So if you wanted to have if there was a rival, if there was something that stood up anywhere near,
They
the forces-
surely they must have a reason to fight people.
Okay,
They-
fair enough. All right, cool. Anything else, Ed? Any more on that?
Everybody fights chaos. Chaos just likes a good scrap, just like orcs.
As we go on, actually.
Fair enough. In that case, we'll move on.
Yeah, what's the Nid terrain?
Segment
Where's
of
my
our
kill team
show,
stuff?
And it's time to move on from the old world and take a look at what's going on in Kill Team.
Okay, kill team. Volcus, Underground, the Underhive, nice. Tectonics unstable. It's Admech. New Admech team, interesting. This is a really cool trailer as well. It's Tyranids. Yeah, it is, I can see it there. Ripper Swarm. Admech
Here we go.
v
Kill Team
Tyranids.
Typhon is the next release coming
Typhon.
for Kill Team, and it's extremely exciting. We have got
That looks like a big
here
box.
full of loads
It's a
of
very
images
big box.
and the much asked for, much waited for Tyranid specific Kill Team is here in the form of the Raveners. First of all, before we go any further,
That's
very
above
quickly,
ground
Alex, where is
terrain.
Typhon set and who are the combatants?
So we are still on Volcus. We're in High Basilicus. The Great Gun has fired, and when it does fire, the backdraft sort of levels everything around it. One of the things that sometimes happens
That sounds
is
ineffective.
sinkholes open up, and when they do, that allows access below the Great Gun. And so what happens is the
What is
can kind of
that
send out these teams of sacrificial servitors
Archmagos
to go and
flying
find some
thing?
of the archaeological bits that are hidden down
Wow.
there. When they've done so, they've awoken some Raveners.
Oh dear, you don't want to wake Raveners. That's the
They've
worst thing
awoken
to
the
do.
hive.
'Cause
So
in
what are
this box
Raveners?
We have the new Raveners Kill Team. 5 miniatures in the Raveners Kill Team. You'll also notice there are some Hormigants in the background
Yeah.
too, but we'll talk about the Hormigants in just a second. But the Raveners Kill Team is 5 models, and you can make quite different versions here. You could make them onto Ravener Warriors if you wanted to, as you see in 40k, but you can also make a Prime, as much as other things we're going to go over in a second. Alex, Raveners are powerful and terrifying, right?
They're looking
Indeed, they're
nice.
Powerful,
Wow.
alive, driven by an all-consuming hunger. Reports say that sometimes they can be deposited on a planet, they burrow through rockcrete, armor, flesh, all with the same level of ease, and they can basically hide out for years, if not decades. And that seems to be what's happened here on Volcus.
Wow.
As you mentioned, these can be built into several different sub-varieties. So you've got the Prime, who's a nodal hub for the brood,
That's-
and coordinates the rest of them. The
Are we
Feltalent
seeing the
explores
same model,
top
or
zone
is
and
this
tracked,
just how they
develops
can be
into the-
differently
as
built?
you can probably guess,
There we go. That's a different
Venom.
one.
Makes sense, yeah.
the Wrecker, which is a heavy
That's cool.
armored version, which can break
Oh,
through
wow.
flankers. My favourite, the Tremor Scythe. It's got
That's
a
cool.
hypersensory array to detect vibrations and chemical signatures like.
Oh, they're so like different, but it's still obviously a
Yeah,
unit.
Lego
That's
Post
really
Special
cool.
2, you'll have come across the Raveners in there, and
Oh,
they
yes.
burrow through the
Yeah.
ground, and they're just so difficult to deal with.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
you
that
kill them
comes
as
through
soon as
in Kill Team
possible.
well. They actually have a rule where you draw a tunnel as the game
No.
continues,
No.
and your warriors and your Raveners can just pop in or
No.
pop out of that tunnel as the game
Nobody asked for
continues.
that.
Really
Nobody
confusing
wants
your
that.
foes.
The Venom's bit is
If I
cool as
tell Kill
well.
Team players, these
The
guys
Wrecker's
have
my
an APL
favourite.
of 3 apiece.
No.
That
No,
makes them
absolutely not.
Super good. And
Nope.
they can all fight twice in an activation, which is terrifying too. Yeah,
No,
absolutely
don't want
monstrous
it.
foes. Only, I think 5 models is one of the smallest kill teams.
Yeah,
by,
that's quite
really
low.
tough.
Why
really
have they
awful
got
stuff.
the
Lots of wounds, lots of APL.
little
really
gribblies
terrifying.
with them?
Maybe not quite as terrifying, but pretty cool as well. The Battle Clade coming alongside them in the box set. These are an Adeptus Mechanicus kill team, and someone in the chat earlier on said, "I'd give my soul for an Adeptus Mechanicus kill team." We're going to send Slanesh knocking on your door anytime soon. But Alex, tell us about these guys.
So these
These look really cool.
Specialize in hunting down arcana and exotic resources. Alongside
Okay.
them, they've got the Servitor Underseers, that guy that seems to be floating there. Basically, these
That's
guys specialize in
incredible.
reprogramming
That's an
and
incredible
shortening
model.
servitors, translating the mission into complex subroutines suitable for their charges.
Loves a bit of,
Can be a bit
bit of
enthusiastic about
binary
the acquisition of
coding.
more servitors. So if you do happen to have one of these guys
Wow.
close by, be careful they don't steal them. So
Wow.
alongside them, you've got a whole host of various servitors. You can have gun servitors with
Big gun
servo-stabilizers,
servitors,
or
they're
even
cool.
techno-medics, which is a rare willingness to heal the fleshy parts of servitors because you are on a mission
Interesting.
far from Forge. You know, sometimes needs must.
Needs must, right? Absolutely right. What's quite cool on the tabletop, these guys have a rule called the Noospheric Network, where they can transfer power from one server to another. One's maybe shuts down and transferring as an APL over to another one, which is really good fun.
That's cool.
Different servitors have different rules. We've got the breacher servitors who can knock holes through walls, and the gun servitors and combat servitors carry a huge array
This is
of
new
destructive
Volkus
weaponry,
terrain as
including
well.
a heavy arc rifle, incendiing igniters,
It
and
looks
phosphor blasters, which
broken,
all sound
disrupted,
terrifying.
destroyed.
Great fun.
That's
Now,
cool.
coming alongside those two kill teams in the box is the dossier, of course, which is
Yeah.
where you would find the full rules for both the kill teams, but
Yep,
also
yep.
has really loads of extra stuff in there as well. You see all the tokens and
Confirmation of the cards.
Inside
Excellent.
the dossier, you'll find the joint ops and adversary ops mission packs in here.
Is
as
this a
well.
new starter set
joint
then?
ops is really good fun. That's where the Hormigans and the Rippers that you get in the
Are
box
they
come
new
into play
Hormigans?
as well, because there is a tree campaign for playing through the narrative of the Tyranid invasion on High Basilicus.
Oh,
and
that's
the Hormigans
cool.
Are your NPO non-player operatives that you get in there? with
That's
full
cool that they're
data
included as well. Oh, that's amazing. This sounds like a really cool box.
But also in the box, people have noticed, we showed off on Warhammer Community a little while ago, the
Niddy
Terran
terrain.
Infestation
Finally.
terrain kill zone upgrades. Tell me what we've got here.
So you get spore chimneys, capillary towers, gestation sacks, shards, spewer growths, underbrewed mounds, capillary roots, spore vents.
It
and
all
nests.
sounds delicious.
Chimneys and vents pump out spores. Capillary towers act as conduits. So when the Hive fleet arrives, that's where they're basically going to get all the biomatter up from.
That's
and
cool.
gestation sacks, well, you can probably guess.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's such great terrain and a really nice way of really adding a lot of flavour to your
Oh,
kill zone.
wow.
And in standard games, they provide light cover or heavy cover, as you might expect. But actually, in the joint op missions, they're also used as objective markers for you to investigate or destroy.
Wow,
or spawn
that's
things
cool terrain.
to come out of, which is terrifying as well. It's just a beautiful set of terrain, and it's really nice to see some sort of classic Tyranid terrain from yesteryear. Made
So this is a mix between two new kill teams and also a narrative. It's like the
so there we go. That's
Inquisition
coming very soon.
Chaos
A little bit of
Cults
time
box
for some
a couple of years
questions
ago, I
again from
think.
the chat. Ed,
That's
anything
an
else
amazing
you wanna
box.
fire our way?
They didn't say that it was coming with other Volkus terrain, so maybe it isn't quite as big a box.
In 40k.
I mean, it looked like a big box, but maybe it isn't as big as the starter box kind of thing. So I don't know where this is going to be priced,
Are we going to see full rules?
but I'm looking forward to seeing more
Well,
in there.
not sure yet, but keep your eyes on Warhammer Community, and there may well be more news coming on those soon. Yeah, watch Warhammer Community for that one, I reckon.
Okay, so WarCom's going to have... Yeah, we are going to look at WarCom anyway, but...
Knights Codex and Chaos Knights Codex. Just keep watching. Obviously, when we get to 40k, we'll cover those.
Oh, they've remembered them. They found them under the desk.
Ooh.
Ooh, so as I mentioned before, basically the Raveners could be deposited on a planet well ahead of the Hive fleet and can stay there for years, if not decades. So it could be a precursor to an invasion, but it also might have been
Maybe they were
a
just
little
there.
offshoot, so we don't yet know.
Fingers crossed it's not a full invasion there, right? For the sake of the Imperium.
Fingers crossed it is a full
I
invasion.
really like the Raveners.
Anything else, Ed?
The AdMech team was kind of cool, but it would have been better if it was Catachans.
In terms of build options, are we able to see just
I'm a little disappointed for that.
Is there an ability to build multiple of each one? Basically,
But those Raveners is just 40k fodder.
You could kill.
It's a cool kit, so many cool things. But as he says there, it's you could just make them 40k Raveners.
Ravener warriors in Kill Team 2, so if you wanted to build 5 Ravener warriors, you
Oh,
could
there
do that as
is.
your Kill Team no problem
Yes.
at all. As for the other options, you
The
get
Kill
some small enough
Team,
bits to build one of each. So one prime, one
does
Raptor,
the no,
one-
maybe it doesn't have Raveners.
one
There was a
of
Space
each of the
Marine
other ones you can
2
build there as well.
mission
So
that had licked as not Raveners. That'd be cool.
now.
Excellent.
Oh, we could probably do a Space Marine 2 Titus
To the mortal realm.
moving forward through an entire Kill Team narrative game. That would be cool.
The realm of death with the new Warhammer Age of Sigmar spearhead.
Oh,
game,
nice.
Sand and bone.
Okay, new terrain. We thought that this might be coming as well. So this is 12 months on.
Victory in fun, fast-paced games using streamlined
Spearhead's so
rules.
cool.
Each spearhead box box contains all the miniatures you need to take command of a balanced and thematic army, with rules and updates available to download.
And this
for free
is
online.
all...
Obliterate your foes from a distance.
Yeah, we haven't had the
Inflict
cities,
tithe on them.
or the Osiak Bone Reapers, or the more tribes, or the Seraphon battle tomes yet.
The choice
So is that what's coming this year?
new spearhead.
Or is this just new
Pass forth
spearheads?
into the realm of death and
If they're getting a new spearhead, surely they're going to get a new battle tome as well. I like it.
Ooh, very exciting. So
That's
this
cool.
is Spearhead Sand and Bone. This is basically the new expansion for Spearhead with a whole load of new and exciting additions. You fight in 2 areas of the Realm of Death. Double death!
You love this, don't you?
Yes.
Double
you've got
death.
Oxia and Delorum. Basically, you've got 2 sides of that board.
That's some cool terrain as well.
Scenery. Now, I noticed
Very
that
Osiak
you've got
Bone
the
Reaper.
Metropolis Blood, Delusion, Grief, and Night, the 5 Mortarks that we know of. And they basically reflect sites of ancient power, dread temples to those Mortarks, but they're not set out in the same way that we've seen before.
No, you're right. There's a nice little variation between the Fire and Jade, the previous.
Yeah,
board
this
as
is
well, so
cool.
give you really good variation on your games depending on which realm.
The
you
points
fight
are in
in.
different
You'll
places,
also
that's cool.
notice that on this board in front of us, the green one here, you've got one huge objective in the middle with the other 4 smaller ones around it, which makes that central one super important and exciting to play over. And if you look
Okay.
on the top left of the purple board there, that one's only got 4 objectives on it, but 2 of them are super close in the center of the board. so there'll be
Okay,
a big old
that's
scrap there as well.
a
Both
really
boards
nice way of
really
playing about with it
want you
then.
to get into the action and fight, which is great fun. You also
This is
notice
cool.
on the screen as well, we've got some new terrain features here as well. This is the new mystical terrain that's being added in, which
Okay.
can either be set up on the board at the start of the game, or maybe brought in through one of the twists in the game as well. We've got the Crypt of Blood, where
That's
your fighters
cool.
can take an unholy draft and try and best their
I'm all about
try and
that.
best their foes at combat. But
Yeah,
at what
all
cost?
about the unholy
And
draft.
the icon of New Lamia, which is the statue there, which you can sort of call upon the veiled promises of the icon, and maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't. Bit of
Okay.
a big risk there, but it's a nice
Interesting.
cool options in
Some
there as
risk
well,
reward
as well as
stuff.
new updated,
Interactive terrain, that's
battle
cool.
tactics and commands and twists and everything to really make you feel like you're playing in the realm of death. So it's a very different
Sounds
experience
good.
than it is right now.
Because currently Fire and Jade is very thematic for those areas.
Alongside this box set, we've also got some new spearheads coming as well.
Indeed.
Cities one's
So the first
nice.
one we're going to have a look at is the Ogre Moor Tribe Scrap Glut. Now, basically, you're going to have your hunter in the center with a bunch of Noblars around, as well as those 8 Iron Guts. Now, they pack an absolute punch.
Oh, they look cool.
They really do.
They
really
look
do.
so
They're
cool.
terrifying. Don't get anywhere near them. But yeah, a really hitty spearhead, that one there. We've also got the Seraphon Sunblood Prowlers as well. For the Seraphon fans, who are these guys?
Indeed.
All
So
of these
basically
have the
their
Warcry
hunters
teams
function,
in.
they're able to
Just
swoop
like the
forward,
new
and then you've
ones.
got
The
that
Dark Oath one has the Dark Oath Savages.
all led by that Sunblood pack.
Yeah,
Were they
terrifying in combat. The
Cities of
hunter
Sigmar
fighters
Hunters?
looking around and grabbing it,
I
with
like that
battle
box.
tactics.
That's a really
But
cool
if you don't
box.
fancy being quite so
The
mobile,
Cities one
you
had
could
the
instead
hunters
go
that came in the
Sigmar
last edition of Warcry.
Angel
All the
Platoon,
Warcry
just
stuff is
shoot people
going in
off the
here.
table with all your guns
I
and
love that.
crossbows.
I
Indeed,
love
they're a mobile gunnery brigade
these
that can
guys with the
fly,
crossbows.
Wildercore that move
Such
up
cool
forward,
models.
and then you've got
Wildercore.
those 2 units of Freeguild Fusiliers that basically form an impenetrable line of pervases.
That will be
Definitely
horrible to
better-
fight
better
against.
on their saves if they remain stationary, but of course you won't score
Yeah.
any battle tactics by doing that.
Yeah, but you can shoot
But
your
I'll
enemy
tell
off the
you what,
board.
If you want to go for a
Part
smaller,
of the fun.
more elite force, take a look at the Ossiarch Bone Reapers mortars. out
That's
there.
cool.
It's
And
just
again-
9 models, but what 9 models they are.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
when we
pretty
talk
sure
about
some of that
the
is
Ossiarch, we-
the Warcry.
talking about
Maybe it
rank
isn't.
after rank of formidable troops, but the mortisans of the Order
The
of
big
Ossiarch
winged
Hunters will
beasts are
assemble
cool. I don't know
these
what they are,
cohorts
but that's
and
amazing.
their bone-shaping skills in battle.
I do like the
Makes
Ossiarch
sense.
Bone Reapers. They remind me of Jason the
There's one
Argonauts,
model that
and that's
has
always
elite
fun.
Health 4, and most of them have a 3+ save as well. So these guys are tough. There's not many of them.
They
so
sound
good luck
tough.
Trying to score your battle
Sound
tactics,
horrible.
with those guys, because you're going to have to really think about how you do it. As a
I do like these
tactical
spearheads.
Bone
They're quite cool. They're quite fun.
Now, that's not all there is for the Age of Sigmar. We've got the Scourge of Gairan. Now,
it
this is an
comes.
exciting new seasonal event building up to the launch of the General's Handbook in summer.
Okay.
Run up to that release, there's going to be daily articles on Warhammer Community with short stories in video form, along with new rules updates.
Video form and rules.
Layout,
Okay.
Battle formations, enhancement, but every faction is getting at least one updated War Scroll card for an existing unit.
That's right, and they're also going to be match
Okay,
play from
okay.
the release of the new General's
This is
Handbook,
cool.
which is going to be the climax of the Scourge of Gairan season. We see that new General's Handbook arrive. It's that time of year. Here it is. And
I suppose
the
it'll be coming up a
difference
year,
is
yeah.
that this
Very
time
cool.
around is, rather than just being a
And you
book,
get objective
it's actually
markers.
a complete box inside which is your 72-page book.
Yeah.
You've got your battle plan and battle tactics cards.
Cool
There's
idea. I like it.
manifestation And war scroll cards as well. We've got the 6 objective markers in there too. It's a complete product for the
Cool.
Warhammer Age of Sigmar General, which you want to get your hands on.
They seem to do Age of Sigmar
So
releases
this is
stuff
more of a
so
game
much
of
cooler than the
Sigmar,
40k
and
stuff,
sometimes
sadly.
it's a place of abundance, with Hammerhall Gyra being the breadbasket of Sigmar's domain. However, the realm of life is rife with disease, hellish mires, mercurial forest spirits, monstrous insects, rapidly changing seasons. Nowhere is safe.
That sounds awful.
No.
Sounds like a perfect place to have your battles of Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
And
Now,
that's
in
why
terms of how
chaos
the rules
always
are gonna
wins.
change for this season, well, we're not going to tell you too much right now. In fact, we're going to ask you to just go back to the Warhammer Community website. In the future, there'll be some hints.
Yeah,
here
we'll
and
keep
there.
an eye on that. I'm
We'll
definitely
make sure
invested in
that,
Age of
find
Sigmar.
out what's in the General's Handbook. Keep your eyes on the Warhammer Community website and
Cool.
sign up to that newsletter.
Sounds
as
good.
Well,
Looking fun.
with that done, it's time to take a few more questions from the chat. Ed,
I
what's
want
up
more
with, in the
reveals.
world of Chatland?
Okay, I've combined a couple
Chatland.
of one here, which is
Okay.
is Fire and Jade still going to be supported? And
Of course it is.
is
So, well,
Xbox
they keep-
still be allowed to
They keep referencing Fire and Jade, so it must be.
100% yes to both. So Fire and Jade is absolutely going to still be available. You can download the rules for free on Warhammer Community already. You can get
Good.
the rules in the Ultimate Starter Set as well for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Well, your
Yeah, of
Ultimate
course.
still be
It's
usable.
all.
Yep, absolutely no problem
Yes.
at all. It's an expansion to the
The
game
stat
as
set
well.
has all the Fire and Jade stuff and all the rules, and yeah, of course it is.
There's more ways to
I hadn't
play Spearhead.
linked that together. Oh, Spearhead's great. It's such a great way of introducing new people to the rules and the factions of AOS.
Indeed, do you want to take this one again?
Yeah, okay. So yeah,
I think
right,
it's
so,
a much
some of
better
the,
balanced
instances
game
being led by
than
units,
Combat
so,
Patrol is,
things like
sadly.
bits, we're being led by that snarl boss on his snarl.
Yeah,
rail.
incredible.
We've also now got the Sunblood pack leading the Seraphon, and the Man Trappers leading the ogres as well. Some of them work in a different way. So the ogres sort of is a hunter with a few tokens around him, with the little models representing tokens and things to put down. Whereas the Sunblood pack, the Saurus, are actually 3 different models. Now
Yeah.
they actually only have 3 health apiece, so together they make up a 9 health unit, but they're still pretty tough. Yeah, that's how they work. It's actually really nice to see. I'm a big Warhammer Underworlds fan, and it's really nice to see some of the Warhammer Underworlds warbands being brought out.
Of course, there were Underworlds as well as the Warcry stuff. Yes. Yeah, it's cool. I like that they're bringing everything together. Sigmar has such a flexibility with all the games set in that setting,
Maybe we'll,
which is really nice.
4K later on.
40k, what's that? We're not here for 40k.
There's more stuff coming in the future for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, so let's take a look
Okay.
at what's coming in the future.
New campaign book.
Coming now, we've got the Soulblight Gravelords.
When? We've been waiting.
Expansion, Sand
Yeah.
and Bone, and then the General's Handbook.
So that's going to be early summer by the sounds of it.
Further forwards into the future, we have the Ideneth Deepkin.
I thought we'd be seeing the Ideneth Deepkin this time round.
Blades of Corn.
Nighthaunt, we knew. Blades of Corn, we knew. Caradron Overlords, we knew all this.
Even further into the future, ooh, I wonder
Same
what-
thing. This is the same tease as the last roadmap. It's the
If you're out there, if you've got an idea of what that could be,
vampire court things, whatever they're called. I can't remember. My brain's gone.
That's a good one, actually. That could be. I've got at least 2 in my mind. It could definitely be.
It's the wing
Right,
of
with
the
that
bat
done,
that's gone the current battle tome. Flesh Eater Courts? Flesh Eater
Boys,
Courts.
we've got a lot of things to show you for
yes.
Warhammer 40,000. Let's start off then with the chapter.
Lots for 40k.
It's that season. We've seen the General's Handbook already. It's time for the chapter approved deck 2025 to 20.
Yeah, it makes sense. Look at that.
This season, we're going to see this new deck, which functionally works the same as the current chapter approved deck.
That's new
with
artwork.
Updates to missions,
It's
objectives,
old
and
artwork, but
so
it's
gonna be a really good
redone.
place to get hold of.
Is it?
Crucially here, it actually includes
It's definitely
missions
Primaris.
specifically written for incursion games, which are 1,000-point games with unique deployment.
Hey,
and updated battle rules
nice.
for smaller games, for example, it's a rule of
Good.
2 for 1,000-point games with up to 4 battle lines.
If it was 1,000 point,
That's going to be quite fun. We can also see on the
I'd be
screen
more
something called
interested in doing
asymmetric
40k.
as well.
That's
Another
cool.
new format which we've introduced for the chapter approved deck. where
Asymmetric
attacker and
deployments,
defender have
really
different
cool
deployment
idea.
zones and different aims within the game. So it's
Yeah.
a much more unpredictable experience, and it's designed for 2,000 points and above.
Oh,
Instead of
ugh.
secret missions this time round, we've got challenger cards in the chapter approved deck.
Okay.
Challenger is a player trading by at least 6 victory points who can choose a
Underdog
challenger card and
mechanic.
draw one. And these new cards provide a stratagem and a mission.
It's
Players can
worked
choose
well
to
in
complete
AOS,
the mission
so I'm
with
not
each
surprised they're bringing it in
not
here.
both. So similar mechanic to Spearhead if you guys have ever played that before. So nice little way
Yeah,
of getting that
Spearhead.
player back into the game. And crucially here, this deck is designed to have lots of different ways to play 140,000 match play to give you real replayability in your games.
It just...
to make your games much more exciting and fun.
I don't know, I'm falling out of love with 40k. I'm just getting a bit...
repeat missions, which is really, really cool.
I don't want to do
there we go,
2,000
that's
points of
Catch Up
anything.
Coming
That's
real
just too
soon.
much.
Make sure you get your hands on one of those when it drops.
But that's a me problem. 100% a me problem. I'd rather stick with Kill Team.
The World Eaters.
Here we go.
They're coming with the
Yes!
Scorestorm Slaughter Pack Battle Force, including a whole
Ooh,
host
new
of
Battle
Oathbound
Force.
Jackals, as well as the Slaughterbound, that brand new hero. So this guy, where 8-bound has 8 demons trapped
He
within him,
looks
he's
big.
basically taken on a bloodthirster that's given him exceptional strength. Along with them, they've got their brand new codex.
Wow.
And then that is obviously going to be all of your rules and
No Wave
backgrounds,
2,
12th
just a new model. That's a
artifacts,
shame.
the warbands and characters.
I'd pick up their codex as well.
On Armageddon.
I do really like these guys.
Slaughterbound. This is the new hero who's going to be coming into play for the World Eaters.
That looks
A
like quite a fun
monstrous
combat
hero who
patrol.
can lead 8-bound or exalted 8-bound into battle, and is so angry, Alex, that he rages at them and returns slain models to life. Which is
Okay,
horrifying.
he gets so
Absolutely
angry,
right.
he brings you
The
back to
codex is
life.
coming as well, of course, including 5 new detachments. You
Yeah.
can include Cornate demons.
5
in your army, much
detachments.
like the Emperor's Children could include Slaneshi demons in the
Yeah,
army.
we figured that was
And
coming.
one of the detachments is the Khorne Demonkin, where you can use an enhancement to have a Lord on a Juggernaut leading Blood Crushers and Flesh Hounds as a unit, which
Okay.
is just great fun.
I don't know
And
if
then,
that's
you know what,
competitive,
talking
but
of Khornate demons, well, we've got a little something to say, and it's over to Ed in Apology Corner.
Apology Corner. We forgot about
Will be
Knights.
in the Codex Demons Index. He's not, and we know that
Oh.
everyone wants it, so have no
I've
fear.
not looked at it yet.
He'll be back when the World Eaters Codex comes out. Be both in that and also in an updated index at the same time.
Oh, good.
There
They
we
missed
go.
somebody
For all
off.
You Khorne Demon fans, our apologies, guys. We're going to fix that mistake when that book drops.
We forgot
So,
about the
thanks for that.
three-headed
Focus on that
dog that everybody
but right,
loves.
keeping on the Chaos theme, what else is coming?
Indeed, we're going to see the Death Guard.
It is a cool model.
Death
Yeah, we
Guard,
knew Death Guard were
likewise,
coming.
have
Are
a
they
Poxwrought Vector Battle Force with a Fetid Blight Drone, Lord of Poxes, Plague Burst Crawler, Blight Lord Terminators.
they new?
Plague
The
Bullies,
Terminators are old, aren't they?
Disease,
They're old
Ridden Body,
Terminators.
Along with the Lord of Poxes. So these are the masters of airborne containment.
That's the new guy. Just
Taking out
one new
foul
guy
Vector
again. This
Smog,
is
that's
kind
why
of
I
sad.
have the
I would have liked more.
Screen near advance and as a weapon.
Yeah,
We've seen him
horrible
before.
on his back as well. He basically doesn't let enemies too far away from him see him at all. That gigantic sword on his back is a great plague blade. And let me tell you, when I tell you it's one of
It's
the
a
most
nice
powerful
model.
combat
It's a very
weapons
cool
in
model.
40K. It's great. Again, the codex includes lots of detachments. You can have Nurgle demons in the book. 6 detachments in there, including one that's very
6
demon-heavy,
detachments this time.
and one that lets you have an unending horde of poxwalkers, just as you'd hope to see.
Nope.
Which is cool. And you know what? Let's round off the unholy triumvirate of chaos. We've got the Thousand Suns.
Yes. So they've also got the Warp Flame.
They
Thrallbound
do
Battle
have
Force,
robots.
a bunch of sorcerers, Scarab Occult Terminators, Rubric Marines, and you can see there at the front those Sekitar robots. So these are
Sekitar
mechanical
robots.
constructs
They
with
look cool.
features Of ancient prospering spirits or tutelary demonic servants, and they're saturated in.
They look
sorcerous
kind of
power,
OC Bone Reapery,
destruction, and
just
legion.
40k-ified.
Key features: they're psychically controlled bodyguards. They're threaded through with spells of prophecy. So
They're
you can
quite
essentially
nice.
force
They're
seals
really
to
nice,
a
actually.
Spire master, able to jump in the way of bullets or move them out of the way.
They're actually also able to foresee where the enemy's going to be as well, which allows this unit to use the Overwatch stratagem for free, which is terrifying, especially when they can be armed with heavy warp flamers, as well as missile racks and melter guns. These things are terrifying.
Wow.
They actually count as vehicles as well, which is cool because one of the detachments in the Thousand Sun book lets you take loads of vehicles, so you can have a robot heavy force if you want to. Great fun. Of course,
I mean, that
these
sounds
demons are
pretty
in the codex
cool.
as well, as you'd expect from these books at this point.
That does sound pretty cool. A
Crusade
robot,
section
like
is
loads of
also
those,
seen
just
with the
plotting
codex
about,
in Crusade as
shooting
well.
missiles and flamers and just being horribly
Seeing the
disgusting.
Legacy Emperor's Children having that absolutely beautiful limited edition codex. And you know what? We're doing the same with the 3 others we're releasing. as well.
Yes, we
Of course,
knew
this
they were
week's
doing this, didn't we?
World Eaters,
Yeah.
Death Guard and Thousand Suns.
That's cool. I like the
These
artwork
books,
on
Alex,
front.
are absolutely incredible, aren't they?
Oh yes, these are absolutely chock
Oh.
full of cool.
Oh,
little
it's nice. They are
yeah,
nice.
stuff
It's
in
just like the Emperor's
So they-
Children one.
However, they look cool on screen.
They really do.
But in person, physically.
Yeah, I
they're
bet they're
much
cool.
better.
Right.
And Ed, you've managed to get your hands on them, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna.
Wow, that is a big
Yeah,
box.
Was not occupied, so I went in. I thought I'd nick them. So we've got this beautiful slipcase that comes apart, a nice,
Stunning.
almost torn cover. Got 3 parts to each book. We've got the codex itself with gilt-edged gold pages, some really nice artwork in each piece.
I do not want to know how much these are going to cost.
With 5 pieces of relevant themed artwork for your god. Those
Cool.
are gorgeous. I've had a cheeky look at them myself. And then we obviously have a large slipcase with gilt-edged data cards, stratagems. We've got our...
It's good that the stratagems are in there as well.
tokens for objective markers. And finally, we have this really nice solid metal medallion that we can make. And they all magnetize together to form one large metal medallion. That is so weighty in hand.
The medallion
I feel like
of
I'm using this as the
chaos.
objective marker instead of the smaller ones somehow.
I can't help feeling that completing the
That's pretty cool. Like, expensive to do, but that's pretty cool. I remember seeing them last time
Like
around.
I've got power coursing through me somehow. Maybe it's the adrenaline for getting my hands on all 4 of them.
Those are absolutely stunning. There's going to be a very limited edition. There are going to be only 1,600 copies of each available.
Wow. And they're going to be
when they're on
pricey.
release. So if you want one of those,
100 quid
or
each?
even all 4 of those, make sure you get one as soon as you possibly can.
Good luck with that one.
They'll be hot.
Oh, yes.
Very hot.
They'll be
stunning
scalped
outfits.
instantly.
So there we go. That's the limited edition Chaos Codex is coming very soon. But I've had
Nice though, very nice. They do limited edition stuff. Very, very cool.
It's time to go a little bit Imperium, as the Grey Knights are seeing their update here too. Alex, what have we got here?
I'm not seeing anything new.
Sanctic Conclave Battle Force with the Grandmaster and Nemesis Dread Knight, units of Brotherhood Terminators, and
They look
squads.
little.
So they're also getting their new codex, chocked full of all the background. The Grey Knights basically
like Grey
anti-demonic
Knights as well.
forces with their armor threaded through with psychoactive circuitry, and the Dread Knights in particular.
Their
are made to
new
combat the most
detachment
brutal,
rules were really cool in the
pointed
December
demons. Now,
releases.
this is an update to that Dread Knight kit.
Is
It is
it?
indeed. We've had the rules for a Grandmaster in a Dread Knight for a little while, but now we've actually got a full kit to represent the most heroic heroes of the Grey Knights in a Dread Knight ready to
It's
fight
still a
the
baby
demons,
carrier.
with weapon upgrades including the Subliminator, the huge Psychic Melter, and a Nemesis Mace, which is what this thing has in common. Massive Psychic Blunt Force Trauma, which can
It's
destroy
still
enemies.
just a
There's
big
also
baby
a
carrier.
Nemesis Flail, which is sort of like a Morning Star version as well, which is coming here as well. So we've got new weapons of that guy and a great new addition kit. It's basically like the Nemesis Dread Knight kit with an upgrade sprue in
I'd
there.
rather have had
Grey
true
Knight
scale Grey Knight.
which is just
That would have got me
in terms of the
excited.
codex, Grey Knight players can expect to see rules like Gate of Infinity still there, slightly tweaked. We've got 5 detachments in there covering lots of different army
5
styles,
detachments,
including the
okay.
Sanctic Spearhead, which covers vehicles and walkers, so you can have an army of Dread Knights and Dreadnoughts if you wanted to, which is great. In Crusade, you can stave off Chaos incursions with the aid of vision sent to you by the Prognosticars, which is cool.
That's quite cool. Narrative-y stuff.
Speaking of prognosticars,
Yeah.
the Grey Knights have foreseen an invasion of a world that has previously been invaded by the World Eaters.
Aha, of course. This is the new Crusade book, Armageddon.
Yes.
And Armageddon
Ooh.
is a war zone that will be familiar to
That's
many veteran
cool.
players. Alex,
That's
why is
really
Armageddon such a big
cool.
deal?
Well, it's been the site of many horrific invasions.
Wasn't
and
that
it all
Orcs
stands
as well?
directly in the path of one of the Blood Crusades. It splintered on all Kelp
Vulcan?
Golgotha.
Was
However,
Vulcan on
it
Armageddon?
descended to plague the whole sector. Now, the amount of blood that has been spilt has basically fed the Red Angels.
They teased salamanders as well. Are we getting a Vulcan?
And as such, the
Are we getting a new
Conqueror
Primarch?
call and arrived. So the World Eaters have descended to Armageddon.
That would
itself,
get me back
but
interested.
they're
I'm
based
sorry,
in-
I'm that much of
into the Death Corps,
I'm that much of a
Space
simp for
Wolves,
Primarchs, and I don't know where it's come from. But I love the Lion and I love
Grey Knights
Vulcan.
would have foreseen this
I'd be like, yeah,
So cool.
salamanders,
What a
here we
great way
go.
to kick off a new war zone. And this actual book itself is a Crusade book. And if you've never played Crusade before,
The Crusade
it's one
books are
of
nice.
those
I've got one to
books
review
that
actually.
really
It's just
announces
sat
that
over there.
your
Just over there, I've got 2 of them, an AOS one and a 40k one to do.
go
I
along.
really need to pull my finger out and get that done.
40k. If you've never played, I seriously recommend. We're playing at the moment,
Oh, yes.
and it's great fun.
Crusade's great. I want more people in my area to play Crusade.
Armageddon, to attack Armageddon.
Just
or
narrative
perhaps you want
games
a
are more
third,
fun for me.
Third party there of just not
I'll
quite.
bully
sure which,
people into
side
it
You're going to represent
with my
which
dark
segment
oath.
you're on. And there's a tree campaign inside the book for all those 3 factions as they sort of take the
Cool.
battle to the enemy over the course of Armageddon. It's great. We've got Crusade badges in there. There's a focus on
Going
epic
back to,
heroes,
like, the
mighty
last one was
beings,
Nachmund,
fighting
there
hellscapes
was
as the barriers between warp and reality.
Prime
just
Nexus,
merge,
Armageddon now.
and
They're
what's
really
cool as well,
bringing
there's
back the old
Unbound
known
Demons
places, which is
blocking through
cool.
your game as sort of non-player characters sort of running in and just
Demon
taking
NPCs.
both sides. And
Beautiful.
just causing complete havoc because there's a demon
PvE
code
demons.
on Armageddon, which is just great. So yeah, seriously, Armageddon.
It does
is
sound
coming
fun.
very
It
soon.
sounds pretty
You know
themey,
what?
pretty fun.
Armageddon does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
It sounds this cool.
Planet Armageddon. An imperial linchpin plagued by invasion.
Salamanders. I'm going all in. I'm going all in on Vulcan. Will tides of blood wash? I missed that.
Blood God's followers swarm across the planet's ravaged surface.
Oh, they're so cool.
On the brink of
I
annihilation,
love the world
the
eaters.
world's defenders issue a desperate plea for aid.
Oh, God.
Will anyone answer their call?
Space Wolves. I was wrong, but holy shit, do they look cool. They've gone Vikings. Holy shit. I'm happy to be wrong. But that wasn't a Primarch. Codex Space Wolves.
The Adeptus Astartes must halt the demonic tide.
Those new models, I'm guessing it's their Blade Guard style troops. Full on Viking warrior. I just adore it. Wow. Wow, I want to see more.
Incredible, and everybody there will have noticed a whole new raft of space wolves.
Oh, they're here. The Space Wolves are here.
And they don't look like
furries.
furries.
And it's great to see a fantastic new range of miniatures coming your way for the Space Wolves.
Show us pictures,
Let's
cowards.
take a look because I mean, look at these.
Stunning.
It's
Wow.
just, we've waited.
Wow,
we've waited and
wow,
waited, and
wow.
here they
It's the
are.
round
This,
shields,
is
it's
what
the
we're seeing right
fur
now
cloaks,
is
it's
the Space Wolves
it's
Army launch
Doom,
set
the Dark
coming to you
Ages.
soon. Included in there
Wow.
is the new
Axes,
Wolf Priest,
swords.
the new Battle Leader, the new Head Takers, the Blood Claws, and the Grey
Head
Hunters.
Takers,
We're all
yeah.
getting new miniatures there. We'll talk about all of these. They got the new Codex in there as well. Oh wow! What
So
a
this is an
force.
army box.
Let's have a look at some of the models a bit closer, shall we? Starting off with the Wolf Priest. Now,
He's cool.
my
He's
compassionate
really cool. I
Simon
love
tells
the
me
skull
that aside
mask.
from a random
The-
Games
like the
Workshop
wolf
from
skull
20 years
mask.
ago, this is the first time Games Workshop has done a Wolf Priest miniature, so it's great to see. And
He's
I'm right in thinking this is a kind of
gorgeous.
mix between an apothecary and a chaplain.
Indeed, their duties are
Oh,
to
okay.
observe the warring tribes of Fenris and to sort of select potential aspirants. They harvest gene seed, they tend to the wounded, but they're also spiritual advisors preparing.
Because
their
the
brothers
Space
for
Wolves are their
spiritual
own kind of...
It's really nice. This model's actually got quite a few
Like,
options
they
here as
run the
well.
chapter
You've
in a
got
very
head
different
options,
way to the
helmet
others,
there
right? They
as
don't follow
well.
the Codex
In
Astartes.
game, you can restore
What a
wounds to units
model.
you've joined. You also
Wow.
add one to melee wound rolls, Litany of Hates. It's got rules from both the Apothecarium and
God damn
Chaplaincy
it.
as well,
Just
which
when I
is
thought I was
cool.
done with Space
Also in the
Marines.
box set, we've got another leader, the Wolfguard Battle
He's
Leader.
stunning.
Might be my favourite model of the box, this one.
He's stunning.
It's so cool. Again, lots of options.
Pose,
here.
the
Helmeted
shield,
bearhead,
the
different
sword, the
options as
cape with the
well.
wolf
All
pelts.
are the Wolfguard Battle Leaders.
So these guys are
Wow.
Wolf Guard, and they're deputized into leading warriors on the battlefield. They're essentially the equivalent of a Space Marine lieutenant. They're typically temporary positions.
He looks cooler than a Space Marine
Over
lieutenant.
Decades. So temporary is an odd term to use. They've got access to ancient and powerful relics from the great company's armory,
Wow.
and when the wolf falls, it's from amongst these wolf guard that his replacement is found. So giving them experience in these leadership roles is invaluable.
You want these guys leading your units into combat, specifically your Wolfguard Head Takers, your Grey
So
Hunters,
there's
or your
one of
Blood
those
Claws, which is the
leaders-
next unit we're going to have a look at here. Look at these. What a great.
That's a
update on
lightning
an
claw.
iconic
I
Space
didn't
Wolf
think we were
unit.
allowed lightning
These
claws
guys are
anymore.
Sort of the
Wow,
newer
they look
Space
cool.
Wolves. Loads of options all over the kit, including different heads and things as well. They're wearing slightly lighter armor than other Marines as well, so they look like they're a bit newer. That's what they're
Okay.
like, right?
Yeah, they're young and impetuous, and they need to prove themselves, temper themselves in battle. Like all chapters,
They
training
look
is harsh and
incredible.
extensive, but battlefield
They
experience.
look
is the
like
most
an
valuable.
individual,
But the claws
true
are not
scale
discouraged from taking up positions in the vanguard.
unit. They don't
Really
look
cool.
Primaris or
Blood Claws have
Firstborn
been
or whatever.
past
They
these guys
just
are
look
combat-centric, carrying their
how a
Astartes
Space
chainsaw
Marine
and their
should
bolt
look.
pistol. But the big news here is, like all Space Wolves infantry in Tacticus armor, they are movement 7. So they're faster than other Space Marines because they're desperate to get into combat. They're cunning hunters as well, allowing them to reroll 1s to wound. And if the target is in range of
Beaky,
objective, they can
look at the
reroll
classic
all wounds,
helmet.
which is pretty cool. Just like the Grey Hunters,
Oh,
who are
wow.
the other iconic Space Wolf unit, which we are seeing new models for here as well.
They're the old
Again,
boys.
all plastic,
Oh, God,
loads
they're
of
stunning
options
as
for the
well.
Pack leader, lots of options all over the kits. to
And
really
it's a
personalise
mix
your
of
Marines,
armor
which is
styles. That's
perfect
how
for Grey
Space
Hunters
Marines
as
should
they're
be.
sort of-
This
they're
is,
more the
forget
veteran
your
Marines.
Primaris and your
they've
Firstborn,
survived
just
long
mix
enough
it
in
all.
Worlds to become Grey Hunters, and this is when the
Yes.
units really present.
I
the
love
original
these
characters. They've got
mixes.
grey
This is
hairs,
incredible.
fangs, rougher skin, all of those like canine developments that we love with the Space
This
Wolves.
is a great
They're really
preview.
closely bonded units.
So far, this has been everything in this preview I have
Stalwart
loved.
and reliable and hold that
And
sort
that's rare.
Yeah.
Even the old world stuff.
core part of your Space Wolf force.
Absolutely core. These guys
I
are
guess I'm a
great
Space
at
Wolf
everything.
now.
They have a starting
Who
sword,
knew?
so they can pack a punch in combat. Each Marine carries a bolt carbine, allowing to fire.
It's like
3
Reavers,
shots
but
apiece.
good.
The pack leader can have a powerful
Nice.
power weapon. But the good news
Nice.
here, as well as the fact that they can move 7 inches like the Blood Cores, is that this unit are OC3 apiece, which makes them absolutely perfect for holding and capturing objectives from the enemy.
Yeah,
They
that'll
are
do it.
absolutely core, and I hate to admit it, but they might be one of the best core battle line units in the
Yeah,
Imperial
they're beautiful.
Forces. So yeah, get your hands on all your.
They sound
collections
really
of these
cool.
if you possibly
They
can.
sound so good.
Up next, we've got the elites of the Force, the head takers, and their hunting wolves.
So
They're
hopefully this tends to
the
be from
Blade
the
Guard
who still
variants, but they look so much cooler than Blade Guard.
specialise in
Blade Guard are
hunting
cool. I like Blade Guard.
champions, beasts, warlords,
But
those
big
fantasy
axe,
wolves
big
with
shield.
the
I said in a
bond.
video not long ago, 40k needs more
It's almost
axes.
as if they act as one, with like an instinctive coordination.
These are elite infantry, similar to Blade
And you
Guard
get
weapons
pets.
you might recognise from the Space
Who
Marines.
doesn't want a
They have
wolf to
loads
follow you
of
around on the
options. There are
battlefield?
9 interchangeable head options in the kit for your bare helmeted or.
Oh, this is so
bare heads or your
good.
helmeted. There's lots of bare heads
Bollocks.
in the Space Wolf kits. which is
I
great.
guess I'm back in
That's really
40k.
good. You can give these guys different weapon options. They can come with a mastercrafted power weapon and shield, or a
I'm
pair of
actually
mastercrafted
angry
power
about
weapons
that.
for 6 attacks
I'm
apiece.
angry that these models are so cool.
Head takers and hunting wolves fight as separate units on the battlefield, which is quite interesting. So you can run
Okay.
them around separately.
That's cool.
We're talking about the sort of going for the big monsters and the champions there.
Oh,
before
they're
the game, you
so
select
stunning.
One enemy unit to to be your quarry, and they get devastating wounds and precision when targeting that quarry. And when they've killed it, they just select a new unit and a new quarry, which is terrifying.
That's cool.
Of course, inside this box,
They're going to be broken when they
we're also seeing
release.
the Space Wolves Codex supplement as well. Like
I
said,
love
you
the
can select
Viking
Space
feel.
Marines
I've
or
always
Codex
loved the
as well,
Viking
but it
mythology
includes
and all
a
that
full
stuff.
background on Space
I
Wolf
don't know
faction,
why I didn't love the Space
colour
Wolves,
section with
but you
loads
are
of
selling
cool
me on
shots of
these so
miniatures,
hard with
rather
these
all
new
over the
miniatures.
Supplement Codex, of course. There are 3 detachments inside, each with their own theme
Oh,
and their own
okay.
saga
That's
to
about
complete.
right.
Complete your saga.
Sagas
get
sounds
additional
cool as
rules,
well.
which is
That's
really cool.
nice.
And in Crusade, there are new Oathsworn campaigns, expanding on those in Space Marines Codex.
Yeah.
So the Space
yeah.
Wolf theme saga
I'm
is
in.
complete. Earn deeds
I'm
of
all
making,
in. Wow, they're
exclusive battle
beautiful.
traits, scars, agendas, everything else you expect from Crusade as well.
Indeed, my favourite little aspect often of these codex.
Everything in his, this still isn't as good as the earlier reveal
added to it.
that Mantic
Quote
did,
from an Inquisitor here that I think
but
is really
the Space
fascinating.
Wolves are
They are
actually
deeply
my
rooted
favourite
in
thing I've
Space
seen in
Wolves,
this so
uncouth when
far.
lacking in honour, informal and without discipline, they respond with contempt to direct orders, scoff at Lord Gilliman's Codex Astartes, and treat
Sounds
the
great.
orders of Imperial commanders with contempt. And I think
Yep.
that sums them up perfectly.
Yeah, and an awful
That's
lot
the
of
kind of
Space
army I
Wolves
wanna
as
play.
well, to be fair. You know who you guys are. Well, that's an incredible range of miniatures coming for the Space Wolves. And what's
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
that's not all. There's going to
Primarch.
be more coming as well.
Yeah.
Just haven't shown you everything yet. Expect some more characters, some more elite units coming too.
You see how he
But keep
sneakily
those
said
details
characters?
on Warhammer Community website, where you can get to see more of those in the
This
main
surely
review.
this
So that's great
confirms
news for Space Wolf players.
it's
Well,
absolutely
that range
fantastic.
refresh would be
Lim and
here.
Ross. Surely.
Guys. But let's have a look now.
Would you
over to question
loyalist
corner. Ed,
Primarch?
folks have got to be happy about the Space Wars, right? Surely.
They are indeed. There's lots of love for Space Wolves. Space Wolf related question though is, do we know if Thunderwolf cavalry are still going to be riding across the battlefield?
So we're not going to answer any questions about that right now because the Warhammer Community website is going to give you more details about what's going to be included in the Codex coming.
So
forward. There's
stuff
loads
is
of
going to
articles
disappear.
about that. So just keep your eyes on Warhammer Community for now, and all your questions will be answered right there on the website. And sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, for definite.
Yeah, but
Okay.
a couple of questions that have been asked since actually before the stream started, and they've
Okay.
been cast throughout. So
Eager.
it's time to come to them. Imperial Knights, obviously on the last roadmap, they appeared as one of the next codexes. Now, obviously, we've got Chaos sort of coming at a similar time. When can we see Imperial Knights? Do we think?
We will answer that momentarily.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
still to come,
Interesting.
essentially. Chaos Knights, do you know if they're ever getting a named character? That's another question that's been asked since the beginning.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be real pedantic here, but in White Dwarf 509, they got 2 named characters in the combat patrol. So there we go. That they already exist. As for other named characters in the future, I don't know, to be honest with you. Again, keep your eyes on WarCom. If we haven't talked about it here, we can't mention it yet. Warhammer community's got all the information you need, guys.
Yeah, so tied into that, again, we've had questions about the release dates, the limited edition codexes. Again, same thing, it'll be announced on WarCom. Another question about them, though, is are they all releasing at the same time, or are they staggered?
Ooh, that's a good.
Can't answer that either.
Set's going to be released as itself, but then we'll see other stuff coming out later on as well. Release dates and everything completely up to other people other than us. Again,
they don't know.
Community and the social media channels are the place to look for that. And I know
Sunday
we've
previews.
got burning questions we want to answer, guys. We can't say everything quite yet, but keep your eyes on Warhammer community.
You could say more. You could tell us everything, Nick.
A potential lore-based question. Obviously, we're coming back to Armageddon. Wouldn't be Armageddon without Old Man Yarrick. Now, is he still around?
Has to be. He has to be.
As we saw from the Astra Militarum Codex a while back, Yarrick is
not dead.
As far as the Imperium is concerned, deceased. There was a great memorial for him.
Beautiful.
So unfortunately,
people even cried.
Well, at least, it's a pretty much hard no. Read the Codex Astra Militarum. And it's
there was
decisive.
There was a body.
Sorry, guys. He's an old man no longer. But hope that.
I don't buy it. I don't buy any of that.
Anything else, Ed?
Yeah, again, there's just lots of questions about, new minis, what might be coming next. So again, all those will just still be.
Do you know what?
Check out WarCom.
We would love to answer all those questions, guys. And as hobbyists ourselves, we totally understand, but we can't say everything right now. Just keep your eyes on the WarCom's website, and you'll see all of it. In fact, should we take a look right now? A little look further.
But where's the heresy?
What might be coming next for Warhammer 40,000?
I like that they are giving us a bit of a roadmap.
Sons, they're going to be marching in with those robots.
Oh, then Space Wolves. Then
the world
April's going to be stacked.
The Death Guard are going to make a slow trudge up the field.
Jesus. Space Wolves very soon.
On the screen, so they're becoming real soon, which is good news for all you chaos.
Sunday preview is going to be a big one by the sounds of it.
Now, what's coming next? We've got the Black Templars, we've got the Grey Knights, the Chaos Knights, and Imperial Knights are stomping over the horizon as we speak.
Okay, so they've remembered them. That's Salamanders, Votan.
Now, I'm pretty sure I can guess at least 2 of these.
Yeah, me too, but they are definitely interesting.
That was Imperial Fists.
Far future.
So is that?
Something's coming.
That's another space. It's a Space Marine. Ultramarines.
I've got a couple of theories certainly. What do you reckon? I reckon there's a few theories.
I've got an idea.
Yeah, me too. So
it looks like every Space Marine chapter is getting their own codex. Again, like they used to, was it 8th? They did that?
Time for a couple more questions. Is there anything else?
That was definitely 2 separate Space Marine chapters that are in the core codex right now with Salamanders and Imperial Fists. So
nothing to report.
Yeah.
Again, keep your eyes on one.
They're obviously, we're getting more.
Keep your eyes on one community.
More Space Marine codexes. Next, the final year of this edition is going to be pretty stacked.
Related to Vashtor in any way?
That's a good question.
The dark mechanic.
That's a very good question.
Time will tell. Vashtor, of course, is the
it's not a no.
mechanic of the Chaos Forces, right?
Yeah.
Vashtor has cool lore. It's just a shame that nothing else matches that lore.
So these have been around for a very long time. But that's not to say that Vashtor isn't going to have some sort of hand in anything technological. He's happily shown up at the Pariah Nexus. Obviously, he's got.
Yeah, he likes to dabble.
It wouldn't surprise me.
He likes to keep himself busy, you know.
There we go. Do you know what? That's been an absolutely brilliant show. We've seen some fantastic releases.
It has.
Previews coming up.
I can't fault any of them.
Old World.
There's obviously some highlights.
Kill Team.
Oh yes.
But Kill Team was cool. Kill Team arguably was the least interesting for me, which surprised me.
Well, what's been your favourite of the?
Did it look cool? It looked like a really cool box.
I'm awfully tempted by the Raveners in that Kill Team box, but
I think the Space Wolves,
the Grand Cathay and Dragon.
just because I'm really getting into the whole Doom, the Dark Age game style, and that old warrior with a circular shield, the wolf pelt and things, that cloak. I'm really loving that aesthetic, and Space Wolves fit that completely.
About what we've shown here today, make sure you're going over to the Warhammer Community website where you can have
Heavily armored Nordic vibe, like that's currently where I'm living at the moment. So I think Space Wolves, surprisingly, Space Marines are my pick of the preview.
Instagram and X. Sign up there and get all the information.
Cafe, however you pronounce it, that was incredible as well. They're up there, definitely up there. And I'm
coming right here on Twitch as well.
Wood Elves as well. Wood Elves looked really cool.
Championship,
I don't even play Old World, and I'm loving the Old World stuff.
The next 4 days up until Sunday, so do check them out right here on Twitch. Thank you to everyone involved behind the scenes, behind the camera. Those of you in the chat, Notley, you're absolute legend. Thank you so much indeed. Alex,
it's been a really strong preview. I like this setup, how they have the two of them just talking about stuff, a little bit of lore, a little bit of reveals.
Cheers. Bye.
They've got a good balance now. They've figured out what they're doing. So that's really cool. Solid preview. Lots of great stuff. How about we jump over to WarCom and have a little look? It's 3 in the morning, guys. So we might not focus on this too much. How about, there's so much revealed. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 articles. I mean, there's 2 different things revealed in that one article and stuff. But let's have a quick run through and just see what else we can kind of feel. So these, it looks, how they've portrayed this, it looks like Wood Elves and Beastmen are going to be coming out very close together, just to round out those familiar factions of Old World. The Greyherds look really cool, some really nice miniatures. I don't recognise many of these, so I don't know if that's because they're old and they brought them back, or I've just never paid attention. But it's a really cool looking, it looks very fantasy, very older sculpt style, which is, I suppose, what Old World's all about. But they look older, I'll put it that way, but they're still nice. Classic. I love that guy. I remember that guy when he first came out. I don't know that seer. That's cool. There's some cool stuff here. I remember those. Yeah, returning plastic. Plastic, though, the fact that there's so much plastic is cool. And then returning resin. This is all resin. I think I remember that one. Oh, that's just gross. So is that. That's cool, though. That's amazing. And then returning metal, because obviously we need a little bit of metal. I remember that guy and that guy. I remember these. This is cool. This is like a real... The thing about not like Old World reveals is it's a nostalgia hit for when I was a teenager. Whereas now it's kind of... They look old, but they still have a special place in my heart. And chariots and a weird beast hog. And then Wood Elves as well. Really solid battalion, some really cool things in there. And they're riding elks, which is really cool. So returning plastic miniatures, we've got the named hero there. Those archers are stunning. I really do like those. Cool spearmen. Don't remember those guys. It's the swords, the big two-handed glaives, I suppose they are. I don't remember those. They're really cool. Are they like archers on horseback? They're stunning. They're absolutely stunning. They're different. That's just an alter. It's a different unit, but they're the same box, aren't they? That's the same core stuff. Returning metal. I remember him. That's a cool model. Really cool model. I remember that one as well. They do look a bit old though, don't they? And they're metal as well. Yeah, I remember that one. That's quite cool. Don't remember that. That's pretty cool. So that's the stuff that we knew about. The new stuff was Grand Cathay. Brilliant trailer. Definitely check out the trailer. I will link WarCom in the description of this when we're not live, when it's all sorted, like figuring itself out. And I will put timestamps in. I'm probably going to go to bed before I do that, in all honesty. We'll see. It depends. I am starting to fade. But these were stunning. The Jade Warrior is beautiful. The Jade Lance is beautiful. The cannon had so much going on. I think the cannon over the rocket battery, I think. The Serpent whatever the weird dragon thing is, that was an incredible model as well. The Gate Masters, they were cool. The Sky Lantern looked epic. Really, really nice paint job. All of this stuff is plastic, they confirmed as well, so that's huge. The Cathayan Sentinel, these guys are just stunning. Again, plastic. Absolutely love these, and I think they would make really cool terrain pieces. And then the Storm Dragon. Again, plastic. What the hell? But beautiful. I think the paint job really sells it as well, but what a great pose. So that's really cool, and that's the first new faction for Old World, I believe. Kill Team. So Kill Team Typhon, we have the Raveners with their different variants, and you can make, there's 5 of them, you can make 5 from the box, or you can just make warriors. The Wrecker was my favourite, but they're all pretty cool, really nice. They have, sounds like they have horrible rules in 3 APL. And then an AdMech, bespoke AdMech team, not a White Dwarf team, so this is a first for the AdMech. And these look pretty cool as well. I'm not a big lover of the AdMech, but they definitely have that servitor vibe that fits really well with what they're doing. Disposable bodies. And then the big gun servitors as well. They'll fit in really nicely with the Ecclesiarchy and the Imperial Agents teams, that same aesthetic. There's a real strong theme of the Imperial humans, like the non-guard stuff, which is really, really strong in Kill Team at the minute. And then the Nid terrain, I think we need more Xenomorph terrain, we need more different terrain for 40k, not just Kill Team. This is a good start, it looks really cool and it's fun. Objective markers and mission stuff as well, and there's a load of NPO stuff. And didn't they say that the box came with some other Tyranids as well, some Ripper Swarms and things. So I'm interested to see more about this box. I think what we'll do a proper breakdown. I'll run through this article as a separate video. We'll do that maybe tomorrow. But it's a cool looking expansion. I don't think it's quite as cool as the Blood and Zeal and Brutal and Cunning, but I think this is also trying to position itself in a different way because they're really focusing on the narrative stuff, which is cool. So Spearhead is getting the Shaiish, I was going to say Fire and Jade, it's not Fire and Jade, it's Sand and Bone, but new Spearhead update, new Spearhead board with worlds, new terrain, with the objective markers printed on, new pack cards. So this is just a new season. The other stuff is still going to be playable and fully supported as well. We have a brand new Seas of Sigmar Spearhead, so this will be alongside the other one, I believe. The other one's a really good box. That includes the Wilder Corp from Warcry, which is cool. They're a really nice unit. The Seraphon, brand new Seraphon Spearhead as well. That looks pretty cool. Quite a variety of different sizes and creatures as well. And again, the Warcry team. And I think that they said those 3 there were from Underworlds. They were an old Underworlds team. So it's cool that they're bringing all of the Age of Sigmar games into these boxes to give you, you know, that one box gives you a little, you don't have the rules, I don't think. Surely you'll be able to find the rules for Seraphon, Underworlds, and a Seraphon Warcry team. So that's cool. No mention of Heresy Warcry in this preview either, which was a shame. Not unexpected after what we saw. Ossiarch Bone Reapers, that's quite a cool looking set as well. They sounded tough and very killy. So they're going to be gross to play against. And the More Tribes, again, a good mix of models in there. Lots of big variety things. So overall, pretty strong. It seems pretty nice. General's Handbook as well, because we're coming into the end of the first year of Age of Sigmar. So Big Sigmar is going to get a new update. And this General's Handbook has everything you need in that one box. So you get the cards, the book with the rules and the objective markers. And the Scourge of Gairan is a new narrative build-up, a new campaign-y thing like they do at the end of editions. It's not quite that deep, but it's going to give you free content and enhancements and battle formations for not necessarily every faction and every army, but there's going to be new things for every army. So I'm interested to see what that is. I'm not entirely sold on going through the narrative stuff. I'd rather read that myself. But if it's new rules and things, we'll definitely be looking at that on the channel. So that's cool. Definitely a lot to come for Age of Sigmar. And there, just to confirm, we've got Soulblights coming, and then the Spearhead stuff. The new General's Handbook is coming pretty soon as well. And then we still have Ideneth Deepkin, Blades of Khorne, Caradron Overlords, and Nighthaunt pretty soon. Probably the next 4 or 5 months. And then on the horizon is, what I'm going to say is the Flesh Eater Courts. That's the only thing that wing can be for me. So that's cool. This roadmap hasn't changed apart from things that should be coming now. I genuinely thought Soulblight Gravelords would be out already. They're probably going to be Sunday's drop. It potentially looks like they've been holding these guys back to release the new Spearhead stuff with them as well. We'll see. Sunday could be a big preview for Sigmar, or it could be a big preview for 40k. Which we'll get onto. But none of this is really new. They've just fleshed out a few of the bits. And the Spearhead stuff is new. The General's Handbook is new. But again, we kind of expected every year we'd be getting new elements to keep those games interactive. But that was all cool. 40k now, we have a new chapter approved mission deck with new different ways of playing. They also said there's rules for incursions, so 1,000-point games, smaller games. Which is great. That's how I'd prefer to see it played. I just don't want to paint a 2,000-point 40k army. I just don't. But we'll talk about 40k when we get to the really cool reveals. Objective markers coming as well. They're actually quite nice objective markers. But yeah, all of this, we've seen this before. This is the 3rd time we've had a new mission deck. For 40k 10th, I believe. Chaos, we knew Chaos was coming. Sadly, it isn't a World Eater's second wave, it is just a new character. This is the Slaughterbound, which is sort of an 8-bound champion, and he's a very angry boy. Very angry. They're getting their codex as well, no surprise there. Death Guard codex, along with the new model that we saw last time around. So these aren't coming out quite as quickly as we were expecting, but these are all coming soon. And then the new automata for the Thousand Sons, which are vehicles as well, but they have just gross, disgusting weapons. Apparently they're really tough. They're going to be just awful, along with the new Thousand Sons Codex and the special edition stuff that we saw ages ago. We covered this months ago. Absolutely stunning. Wonderful sets that you are not going to be able to buy. That's obviously World Eater's Death Guard, and then they did show the other ones as well, I think. Or we've seen the other ones somewhere. They said there was like 1,600 of each. So don't expect to be getting one of these unless you're really lucky or you pay a hell of a price on eBay, basically, because they will get scalped. Which is sad, but they do look like nice boxes. Really, really nice. Where next? Armageddon. We're going back to Armageddon with a new Crusade book. This is cool. An actual new, I say new location. Obviously, we've been to Armageddon before. Haven't been there for quite some time, whereas we've done Nakmend, we've done Prior Nexus. They were the last 2 Crusade books for 10th edition. So this is cool. It's actually going to be a whole new series of stuff. Loads of cool things. Lots of World Eaters. Lots of Grey Knights. As we can see here, Grey Knight. I mean, Grey Knights and World Eaters just seems like an iconic thing, doesn't it? We got Grey Knight Codex confirmed as well. Nothing really new. It was a new baby carrier. I know that they're good on the table. It's probably a really nice upgrade sprue or a new kit, or I think it's an upgrade sprue. It just says an updated Nemesis Dread Knight, so it's probably a whole reboxing, but they're adding upgrades in there. It's a baby carrier. It's a baby carrier. It doesn't do anything for me. But the absolute highlight, I think, genuinely, Wood Elves were cool. Cathay was incredible. I think the highlight for me is true Viking-style Space Wolves. and confirmation that this is a whole new range of things. Obviously, new army boxes are all new models. We've got new blood claws, which are, from what I gathered, and one thing I want to point out here. So, my understanding of how Space Wolves work compared to the Codex Astartes and the usual Space Marine chapters, because these guys are very different, on my limited understanding. The Blood Claws are kind of like the Phobos guys. The Grey Hunters are very much like the standard Intercessors. And then these guys, I think, are Blade Guard, but that's the vibes I'm getting, to loosely put them into like current Primaris style. There was no mention of Primaris, absolutely no mention. This is just true scale Space Marines. And as we jump through these, this is why I love these. They're so individual. You've got different marks of armor, you've got different helmets, the beaky's back. But they just look so refreshing. Yes, obviously they're Space Marines. There's only so much you can do to have an iconic Space Marine unit. And they are obviously wearing Tacticus armor, but they're not Primaris. There was at no point mentioned Primaris. But they look incredible. The poses are great. The weapon options, alright, it's bolter and a chainsword. But if you were going to run around with a bolter and a chainsword, and obviously a lightning claw, where have they been? This is cool. This is really, really nice. They look, and I never thought I'd say this about Space Wolves, they look incredible. And it gets better. Because the Grey Hunters, the more veteran-y in the ranks, the older in the ranks, yes, they are just Space Marines holding bolters. But again, they just look like a tactical squad. So many cool options, and the armor is individual enough, it's different enough, it's chapter specific, but it still feels unique and individual. The heads, the poses, alright, they're fairly standard. The heads make it. And then the weapons options, you're running around with a bolter and a chainsword. I mean, you're covering every angle there, aren't you, really? So they're a really nice glow up. And again, they're not saying Primaris. They're not saying this difference between Firstborn and Primaris. They're just Space Marines. They're just true scale. This is what they should have done. And, you know, the old classic Space Marine helmet there. Really, really cool mix of stuff. I really like these. And they are just a basic infantry squad, which is even cooler. And then the Wolf Guard head takers. This is a mix of wolves and effectively Blade Guard, but holy hell, they're amazing. So Viking, so Nordic. Round shields and axes. Lots of, I think they said 9 different heads in the box for 3 models. You've got your wolves as well. I love, we need more axes in 40k. I've been saying this for a while, but I love the round shields. I love the axes. You can take power swords as well, or dual weapons, which is really cool. But I love the pelts. The pelts and the round shields is just giving me Doom the Dark Ages vibes, and I'm super excited about the new Doom. You paint these guys green. That might be sacrilege to Space Wolf players. I'm sorry, I'm not that versed in the Space Wolf lore. But you paint these guys green and you just have Doomslayer. I mean, even these models, just amazing. Like I say, I never knew I would fall in love with Space Wolves, but this is everything I love in a 40k setting. Really, really cool. And dual weapons as well, that's so cool. A new battle leader, so they describe this guy, and there's a couple of different options there as well, that's really cool. They describe this guy as basically a lieutenant level. Again, just a cool pose, loads of pelts, just, yeah. And he's got a power mace, power hammer, thunder hammer. There we go, I got the words. It's nearly 3:30 in the morning, guys, leave me alone. But just cool. And it's a really nice glow up. Just fantastic. Really, really good. And then a Wolf Priest. And this guy, oh, he has different head options as well. And weapon options. Wow, really cool. I love that head though. That feels very classic Space Wolf. And then the special edition codex to go in the army box as well. Final thing we'll touch on before I go is the current 40k, and we'll do this more in depth tomorrow or next couple of days, whatever. Thousand Sons and Space Wolves are coming out pretty soon, followed by World Eaters and Death Guard. So all of the final 3 Chaos that we know of are going to be coming out. Space Wolves slotted in there as well. Armageddon, for some reason it isn't in here, but I'm going to guess that the Armageddon Crusade book is going to come within there as well, between World Eaters and Space Wolves. Probably come out with the Space Wolves. But then Grey Knights are quite a way back. But we also have Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights. They've found the books, they've printed them, they know where they are. It's alright, Knight players, something is coming. You haven't been forgotten, or you've just been remembered. I'm not entirely sure. But Black Templars are getting theirs as well, and Grey Knights. Probably the big thing to talk about on here. That's Salamanders. That could only be Salamanders. Which is cool. That's Votann. I'm interested to see what they do with Votann. But this... it can only be Imperial Fists. It's 1000% Space Marines. And then the little tease that they had afterwards that isn't anything to do with this, the silhouette tease, was another Space Marine. Well, Salamanders and Imperial Fists are represented by detachments in Codex Chaos. Codex Space Marines. They're loyalists, they're not Chaos. Codex Space Marines. But now it looks like they're getting their own codexes, and they're coming out before other codexes that we're still waiting on for 40k. There is only a year of this edition left that we know of. They run in 3-year cycles. So are we going to be getting just individual, well-known Space Marine chapters getting their own stuff again like they did in 8th? Because they should. It was a bit of a feels bad to forget about Salamanders, to forget about Imperial Fists, and to forget about Ultramarines and lump them all in a book. I don't know, it just felt bad. Shadow Marine Raven Guard, it could be, yeah. Yeah, Steve Motherly, thank you for dropping by. Nice to have you here. It could be Raven Guard as well. That's a good shout. I suppose Ultramarines is the normal Codex Space Marines out there. They're the poster boys. So they don't need anything. They've got everything in that book. Raven Guard is a great shout, and I never thought of them. So thank you for dropping by. It does make sense. It didn't look like there was no kind of wings or anything, but it was just a silhouette. Who knows? I think you're onto something there, actually. I think Raven Guard makes sense, especially if the other chapters are getting their own individual things. These are probably just going to be small supplements with some new units or moving units or maybe changing cards, profiles and things that is currently in Codex Space Marines and just giving you extra options. I don't know. This feels like they should have this stuff and they should support the other chapters that they've seemingly been forgetting. And if this is true, it gives me hope that they're actually going to support the other Imperial Guard armies as well. Because, you know, Cadia has been on top for too long. The planet got blown up. Kriega coming up. But we need Catchhands. We need Elysian drop troops. That's how you'll get me excited. Elysian drop troops. But these just blow me away. I think every one of these models I love, which upsets me because I don't want to buy a Space Marine army box. I've already bought one this edition. I bought the Dark Angels one with all the Terminators, and that was cool. I don't want to buy Space Wolves. No, I don't. But it's so cool. I love these, and I love that it isn't Primaris. As silly as that might sound, to me that's a big thing between actually keeping chapters together instead of having, oh, well, that's tactical, you can't do that. Maybe these guys can go in a Rhino. That would be cool. But yeah, that's us. I think that's everything. There was lots in there. It was a solid review. Just to give you a little roundup of my thoughts, I think I've covered most of this. It was a solid reveal show. I really like this setup. Even doing it live with the dropping in and out with the chat and asking questions, that worked fine. It felt like it slowed things down a bit, but genuinely these questions do need asking. They gave answers. Usually the answer was, keep an eye on WarCom, we can't tell you. But at least there is an outlet for people engaged in the hobby to be asking Games Workshop questions in some way. And maybe they'll listen. Maybe this stuff will get picked up and fed back. I don't know. But they need to start communicating more with the community, I think. because there's knights just disappeared and they were never referenced again until this, which was months of what's happening with Chaos Knights. We don't really know what's happening with demons until last week or the week before. Like, all of this stuff could be communicated much better. But just looking at it from a reveal show, solid. I would give this a 9 out of 10. I did get a bit excited. I did think we were going to get Vulcan. I'll be honest, that was my bad. But yeah, this was cool. This was really, really cool, really solid. Pick of the preview, as I say, was Space Wolves. I love everything about that, and I hate myself for saying that. I love everything about that. And they did say at the end, this isn't everything for Space Wolves. Sounds like some units are going to be disappearing, but the way that they said it and the way that they mentioned characters with a little wink to the screen, I think Lehman Russ is returning. I think they've all but confirmed it. But this is cool. Guys, it is 3:30 in the morning here, and I didn't sleep last night. It has been an exciting day. I'll touch on Halo, because Halo Flashpoint is getting a huge new big box, and that's one of the things I'm really pushing on this channel. So that was amazing. That's still my highlight of Adepticon so far. This stuff was so cool. The letdown for me here was Kill Team, and that's rare because I love me some Kill Team. Nothing about Bjorn, nothing about Dreadnoughts. They did say that there would be more characters coming though, so there's always a possibility. Bjorn getting a Brutalis level upgrade would be pretty special though, wouldn't it? That would be very cool. But chat, thank you for dropping by. First live stream on the channel. It's gone pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously, there's many options for these preview shows, and it is a bit, certainly in the UK, it's a bit of a silly time. But I'm going to call this one there. We will run through some of these articles. We'll do Kill Team. We'll probably touch on AOS. And we'll do probably the 40k in separate videos tomorrow just to go in a little bit more. And we'll see what else comes out. But this was really cool. I'm going to go before my voice fails me and get some sleep. Really, guys, it means a lot just for you guys to jump in and watch. And even if you're sort of watching and lurking behind the scenes, that's amazing. You know, this channel is very small. It is growing very, very nicely. I'm super happy with it. We did pass, touch wood, it's going to stay that way. But we did pass 100 subs, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a huge step. And it's before I was sort of planning on, before my target of hitting 100, we're a couple of months ahead of what I thought I'd be at this point. And that's down to your support. I know I might not always be covering the big stuff like 40k and things, and stuff gets lost due to my health sometimes causing issues. But genuinely, you guys being here and dropping in and just enjoying the content, it does mean the world, and it helps this channel grow. So thank you very much. Honestly, I'm going to go. You're all amazing. Have a great rest of the day wherever you are. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. We will hopefully do more live streams. We will hopefully have new content coming on the channel as well. But keep an eye out for the usual news videos and things. But this has been really solid, and I am very much looking forward to the next few months of Warhammer releases. And yeah, have a great one, and I'll see you all in the next one.